This is the news for today, Friday, July 19, 2024. Trump's dramatic GOP nomination and assassination attempt in Butler. A rally of resilience and unity. Donald Trump accepted the Republican nomination for president, detailing a personal assassination attempt at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. Trump vividly described the moment when a bullet grazed his ear, leaving him covered in blood. He credited his quick reflexes and divine intervention for saving his life, stating that if he had not moved his head at the last instant, the bullet would have hit its mark. The incident resulted in 1 fatality and 2 injuries among the attendees. Trump praised the bravery of the crowd who did not flee and instead pointed out the shooter. He also paid tribute to Corey Comparator, who was killed in the shooting, and David Dutch and James Capenever, who were injured. In his speech, Trump emphasized the need for unity, calling for a government that serves the American people. He expressed gratitude for the love shown by the audience and reiterated his commitment to his mission, stating that nothing will stop him from delivering a righteous and pure cause. The announcement and details of the assassination attempt were met with a mix of gasps and applause from the convention attendees. As he wrapped up his speech, the audience gave him a standing ovation, signaling strong support for his leadership despite the dangers he faces. Trump's revelations added a dramatic layer to his nomination acceptance, setting the tone for the type of challenges and adversaries he is willing to confront. The vivid depiction of the assassination attempt served both as a testament to his personal resilience and as a rallying cry for his base ahead of the upcoming elections. This is the news for today, Friday, July 19, 2024. Pressure mounts on Biden. Over 30 Democrats call for withdrawal as 2024 election looms. President Joe Biden is facing increased pressure from within his own party to withdraw from the 2024 presidential race. 13 more congressional Democrats have joined the chorus of lawmakers calling for Biden to step aside, citing concerns about his age and fitness. This brings the total number of Hill Democrats urging Biden to withdraw to over 30. The calls for withdrawal come after Biden's recent debate performance, which many saw as subpar. Despite this, Biden has acknowledged the performance was subpar but has pushed back against broader questions about his age and mental fitness. Many Democrats believe his continued candidacy could jeopardize the party's chances of winning the election. Biden has repeatedly stated that he will not withdraw from the race, citing his successes as president and his commitment to leading the party. However, the growing number of Democrats calling for him to step aside suggests that the party is increasingly divided on this issue. The pressure on Biden is likely to continue as the election approaches, with many Democrats urging him to consider the party's best interests and step aside for a younger, more energetic candidate. This is the news for today, Friday, July 19, 2024. Unraveling the enigma of Thomas Crooks, the attempted assassination of Donald Trump. Investigators are piecing together the puzzling profile of Thomas Crooks, the gunman who attempted to assassinate former President Donald Trump at a rally. Authorities have identified Crooks as a seemingly unremarkable individual with a history as an honor student. The investigation reveals a complex background, including a bizarre search for explicit content shortly before the attack. A source confirms that a sniper ended the shooter's life with a remarkable 1-in-a-million shot during the attempt. Crooks, described as a loner without friends, had been bullied in the past but did not have strong political leanings. His motive for the assassination attempt remains unknown. The FBI has conducted over 200 interviews as part of the investigation and found no significant information about Crooks' motives on his phone. Crooks was able to get a clear shot at Trump by scaling an air conditioning unit accessible from the ground, gaining access to the top of a neighboring building. 3 rallygoers were shot in the incident, including one who was killed shielding his family from the gunshots, while Trump suffered a bullet wound to his right ear. This is the news for today, Friday, July 19, 2024. Global IT chaos. CrowdStrike update clashes with Microsoft Windows, disrupts flights and business operations. A global IT outage has caused widespread disruptions, grounding thousands of flights and affecting numerous offices worldwide. The outage is attributed to a faulty cybersecurity update from CrowdStrike, which impacted vital systems and services. Reports indicate that the update clashed with Microsoft Windows systems, leading to significant disruptions. Many airports reported substantial delays, with passengers experiencing extended waiting times and flight cancellations. Businesses across various sectors, including finance and media, struggled to maintain normal operations. In particular, banks faced issues with transaction processing, and broadcasters encountered challenges in transmitting their regular programming. Cybersecurity experts worked around the clock to address the root cause of the problem, which pertained to incompatibility issues in Microsoft Windows systems after the update. This incident highlights the critical dependence on IT infrastructure and the ripple effects a single glitch can create globally. Efforts to restore normalcy are ongoing, and it is expected that full functionality might be achieved within the next few hours. This event serves as a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities in the increasingly interconnected digital world, underscoring the importance of robust and resilient cybersecurity measures to safeguard against such widespread disruptions in the future. This is the news for today, Friday, July 19, 2024. Heroism and tragedy at Trump rally. Remembering volunteer firefighter Corey Compertor. Corey Compertor, a 50-year-old volunteer firefighter and father of 2 daughters, tragically lost his life during an assassination attempt at a Trump rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. Compertor, known for his dedication to his community and family, shielded his family from the gunfire, ultimately sacrificing himself to save them. The incident has sparked widespread condemnation of political violence, with leaders from across the political spectrum calling for unity and peace. Hundreds gathered to honor Compertor, paying tribute to his life and legacy. Former President Donald Trump led a moment of silence in his honor, highlighting the firefighter's bravery and the profound loss felt by all who knew him. Compertor's widow received a personal call from Trump, extending his condolences and support during this devastating time. A GoFundMe campaign has been established to support Compertor's family, with donations pouring in from all corners. The community's collective mourning was palpable as they stood together, not only to remember Corey Compertor, but also to call for unity and peace moving forward. This is the news for today, Friday, July 19, 2024. Biden's SAVE plan on hold. Uncertainty for 8 million student loan borrowers amid legal clash. The U.S. Department of Education has announced a pause on student loan payments for millions of borrowers amidst an ongoing legal battle. The decision comes after an appeals court temporarily halted the Biden administration's proposed repayment plan, known as the Saving on a Valuable Education SAVE plan. This pause affects approximately 8 million borrowers who are now left in uncertainty about their repayment obligations. The SAVE plan aimed to offer relief by reducing monthly payments based on income levels, with borrowers earning less than $32,800 individually or $67,500 for a family of 4, seeing $0 monthly bills. Critics of the legal halt argue that it could have devastating impacts on borrowers who were counting on this financial relief. Education officials have emphasized the importance of the program, stating that it aims to make education more affordable and accessible. Meanwhile, opponents in court argue that the administration overstepped its legal boundaries in implementing the plan. As the legal proceedings continue, borrowers are advised to stay informed about their specific payment obligations. The Education Department is expected to provide further updates as the situation develops. The outcome of this court case could have significant ramifications for the future of student loan repayment in the U.S. The legal battle underscores the ongoing debate over how best to address the nation's student loan debt crisis, which affects millions of Americans. This is the news for today, Friday, July 19, 2024. Trump's strategy as Biden exit buzz grows. Prepping for Harris, Whitman, Cuban. Trump allies are actively preparing for a potential shift in the political landscape if President Joe Biden decides to drop out of the presidential race. This strategic maneuver comes amid speculation that Biden might withdraw due to increasing pressure from party leaders and concerns about his electability. Trump's allies are closely monitoring the situation and are already considering potential opponents, including Vice President Kamala Harris, Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, and billionaire Mark Cuban. Opposition research and message testing are underway, with some polls suggesting Harris might fare worse against Trump than Biden. Republicans are confident in their ability to adapt to a new opponent, citing the party's unity and Trump's strength following the recent assassination attempt. This is the news for today, Friday, July 19, 2024. Record ratings at RNC. Trump's speech draws 10 million to Fox News. Donald Trump's speech at the Republican National Convention has garnered significant attention, drawing an impressive 10 million viewers to Fox News. This marks the highest ever rating for the network during an RNC event. Trump's address focused on key issues facing the nation, which seems to have resonated strongly with a large segment of the viewing public. The viewership figures reflect an unprecedented level of engagement for such a political event on Fox News. The high ratings underscore Trump's continued influence and popularity within the Republican Party. Analysts suggest that the significant viewership numbers could be a barometer of voter interest as the election season unfolds. This milestone for Fox News indicates the former president's ability to mobilize and capture the attention of a sizable audience. Overall, Trump's speech not only set a new record for the network, but also highlighted his impactful presence on the political stage, suggesting that his influence remains strong as the presidential campaign progresses. This is the news for today, Friday, July 19, 2024. Rising stars and electoral bets. Kamala Harris surpasses Biden in 2024 odds. A recent poll reveals that a majority of Democrats believe Kamala Harris would make a competent president. The survey highlights growing support for the current vice president as President Joe Biden's approval ratings fluctuate. Notably, Harris' candidacy for the 2024 election is increasingly being discussed within Democratic circles. Political analysts have observed that her allies are actively working to defend and promote her potential candidacy. In addition, overseas betting sites have reported that Harris' odds of winning the 2024 presidential election have surpassed those of President Biden. This shift underscores the rising confidence in her ability to lead. Several factors contribute to this trend, including Harris' political experience and her role in key policy discussions. However, some speculate that her candidacy is contingent upon Biden deciding not to seek re-election. With the next presidential race on the horizon, Harris' position as a prominent figure in the Democratic Party continues to gain traction. As discussions about the future leadership of the party intensify, all eyes are on Harris to see if she will step into the presidential arena. A significant majority of Democrats, around 60%, believe Harris would make a good president, with about 20% unsure and another 20% expressing doubts about her suitability. This sentiment is particularly strong among African Americans, a crucial demographic within the Democratic coalition. Harris' favorability ratings are comparable to those of President Joe Biden, with approximately 40% of Americans holding a favorable opinion of her. However, she has a slightly lower unfavorable rating compared to Biden. The survey also highlights that Harris is more recognizable and favored among Democrats compared to other potential candidates like California Governor Gavin Newsom and Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. The poll's findings come amid growing pressure on President Biden to reconsider his bid for re-election, with many Democrats increasingly viewing Harris as a stronger contender against GOP nominee Donald Trump. Despite this, Harris has remained steadfast in her support for Biden. This is the news for today, Friday, July 19, 2024. Weisselberg released after 100 days, unveiling the Trump Organization's legal saga. Alan Weisselberg, the former chief financial officer of the Trump Organization, has been released from Rikers Island jail after serving 100 days of a 5-month sentence for perjury. This marks his second stint in jail within a year, having previously served 100 days for a separate criminal tax fraud case. Weisselberg pleaded guilty to 2 felony counts of perjury. admitting to giving false testimony regarding the size of former President Donald Trump's triplex apartment in New York during a July deposition. His release comes amid ongoing legal battles surrounding the Trump Organization's financial dealings, including a civil fraud case in which Weisselberg was found liable for fraud and ordered to pay $1 million plus interest. This is the news for today, Friday, July 19, 2024. Biden family talks exit strategy, navigating 2024 presidential race against Trump backdrop. President Joe Biden's family has initiated discussions regarding his potential exit from the 2024 presidential race. These discussions have been prompted by growing concerns among Democratic leaders, donors, and campaign officials following a challenging debate several weeks ago. The talks focus on crafting an exit strategy that would position the Democratic Party strongly against former President Donald Trump, considering Biden's extensive service to the nation over more than 5 decades. The discussions center on the timing and meticulous planning of how Biden would gracefully conclude his bid for re-election. Factors such as his health, family well-being, and the nation's stability have been pivotal in these deliberations, highlighting the significance of a well-thought-out exit strategy. Despite consistent denials from the White House, speculations persist. Biden's campaign manager, Jen O'Malley Dillon, acknowledged a slight decline in support but affirmed Biden's continued commitment to the race. Reflecting on the situation, longtime advisor Ron Klain noted the mounting calls for Biden to step aside but emphasized the importance of him staying in the race. The Biden family and close aides have expressed dismay over what they perceive as disrespectful attempts to push the president out of the race. Discussions on a potential exit plan have extended beyond the family to senior staff members, indicating a broader consideration of Biden's political future. As Biden remains secluded following a positive COVID test, allies are gauging his political standing, with growing expectations that a decision could be imminent. Despite the mounting pressure, Biden's resilience and determination to persevere in the face of adversity remain evident, with allies acknowledging the challenging position he finds himself in. This is the news for today, Friday, July 19, 2024. Remembering Bob Newhart, a legacy of laughter and deadpan comedy. Bob Newhart, the renowned comedian and actor known for his deadpan delivery and stammering style, has passed away at the age of 94. Born George Robert Newhart in Oak Park, Illinois, Newhart began his career as an accountant before transitioning to stand-up comedy. He gained popularity with his first comedy album, The Button-Down Mind of Bob Newhart, which reached #1 on the charts. Newhart's television career spanned several decades, with notable roles in The Bob Newhart Show in the 1970s and Newhart in the 1980s. He also appeared in numerous films and television shows, including The Big Bang Theory, for which he won an Emmy Award. Newhart's unique comedic style and ability to make audiences laugh earned him a place as a comedy legend. Throughout his career, Newhart was recognized with numerous awards and accolades, including a Kennedy Center Mark Twain Prize for American Humor. His legacy continues to inspire comedians and entertain audiences alike. This is the news for today, Friday, July 19, 2024. Fatal encounter. Illinois deputy charged in Sonia Massey's death. An Illinois sheriff's deputy, Sean Grayson, has been charged with murder after fatally shooting Sonia Massey inside her home. On July 6, Grayson responded to Massey's 911 call, reporting an intruder. Upon arrival, Grayson ordered Massey to move a pot of boiling water, then drew his 9mm gun and threatened to shoot her. He fired 3 times, striking her once in the face, causing her death from a single gunshot wound. Disturbing details have emerged, revealing that Grayson discouraged his partner from providing life-saving aid to Massey immediately after the shooting. An expert in use of force reviewed the footage and concluded that Grayson was not justified in using deadly force. The incident has generated international attention and led to protests, with Governor J.B. Pritzker expressing dismay over the tragic loss of another innocent black life at the hands of a police officer. This is the news for today, Friday, July 19, 2024. Zelensky appeals to UK for missile support amid Russia-Ukraine conflict. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has made a significant appeal to the UK Prime Minister, seeking assistance in lifting weapon restrictions for Ukraine. Zelensky emphasized the critical need for long-range missiles to bolster Ukraine's defense capabilities amidst the ongoing conflict with Russia. This urgent request came during Zelensky's visit to the UK, marking him as the first foreign leader to attend a UK cabinet session since President Bill Clinton. The visit underscores the pressing nature of Ukraine's defense needs and Zelensky's proactive approach in seeking international support. Zelensky's plea highlights the strategic importance of advanced weaponry to counter Russian advances and protect Ukrainian sovereignty. In his dialogue with the UK officials, Zelensky detailed how the current limitations on weapons are hampering Ukraine's ability to effectively respond to the aggression. The call for lifting these restrictions aligns with Ukraine's broader strategy to enhance its military resources and secure more robust international backing. As the war continues, the response from the UK and its willingness to adjust weapon policies will be critical in shaping the future course of the conflict. Zelensky's outreach is a reminder of the ongoing and severe challenges faced by Ukraine and the country's reliance on Allied support for sustainable defense and security solutions. This is the news for today, Friday, July 19, 2024. Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich, sentenced in Russia, behind closed doors trial, draws global outrage. Evan Gershkovich, a 32-year-old American journalist and reporter for the Wall Street Journal, has been sentenced to 16 years in a Russian prison after being convicted of espionage by a Russian court. The trial, widely denounced by the U.S. government and press freedom groups as a sham, was conducted behind closed doors, with no public evidence presented to support the claims. Gershkovich was arrested in March 2023 while working on a journalistic assignment in Yekaterinburg and has been detained since then. Both Gershkovich and the U.S. government have vehemently denied the allegations, with the U.S. demanding his immediate release and actively advocating for his freedom. The trial has been characterized as an unjust and illegitimate process, with the U.S. Embassy in Moscow emphasizing the importance of securing Gershkovich's release and ensuring justice prevails. President Joe Biden has stated that the U.S. is pushing hard for Gershkovich's release, reiterating that journalism is not a crime. The UN has also concluded that Russia is wrongfully detaining Gershkovich. Gershkovich's family and friends have been actively campaigning for his release, with a GoFundMe page set up to provide financial support. The case has drawn widespread international condemnation, with many calling for Gershkovich's immediate release. This is the news for today, Friday, July 19, 2024. Bangladesh protests escalate, deadly clashes over government job quotas. Bangladesh has been gripped by deadly protests over a government job allocation system, with at least 25 deaths reported. The protests, led by students, are demanding an end to a quota system that reserves up to 30% of government jobs for relatives of veterans. They argue that the system is discriminatory and benefits supporters of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. The clashes between protesters and security forces have escalated, with police firing bullets and sound grenades. Internet and mobile services have been cut off, and a nationwide curfew has been imposed. The government has deployed the military to quell the unrest. The protests have been fueled by high unemployment among young people, who make up nearly a fifth of the South Asian nation's 170 million people. The situation remains volatile, with the death toll climbing and thousands injured. International rights groups have criticized the internet suspension and actions of security forces. The government has defended the quota system, saying that veterans deserve the highest respect for their contributions to the war. However, the protesters are adamant that the system must be replaced with a merit-based system. For now, the situation in Bangladesh remains tense, with no clear resolution in sight. This is the news for today, Friday, July 19, 2024. Israel vows retaliation after Houthi drone strike in Tel Aviv. Israel's defense minister has vowed that the country will settle the score following a deadly Houthi drone attack on Tel Aviv. The attack, which occurred early Friday morning, saw a Samad 3 drone penetrate Israel's defenses, causing 1 fatality and 8 injuries. The drone struck an apartment building in central Tel Aviv, near several hotels accommodating individuals displaced from the northern Israeli border with Lebanon. The Israeli military attributed the failure to detect the drone to human error rather than a malfunction in the system. This marks the first known instance of the Houthi group targeting Tel Aviv, underscoring the expanding capabilities of their arsenal. The Houthi faction has extensively employed drones throughout their recent operations, with most missiles and drones launched towards Israel being intercepted before reaching Tel Aviv. Experts suggest that the confirmed strike in the Mediterranean signifies a notable shift in their operations. The Israeli authorities have indicated a readiness to respond to the attack, with the defense minister warning of retaliatory actions against any parties threatening Israel. This is the news for today, Friday, July 19, 2024. Netanyahu's bold move, pausing talks and pressuring Hamas after congressional speech. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's recent speech to Congress has been hailed as a potential turning point in the ongoing hostage crisis involving Israeli citizens held by Hamas. Netanyahu's address emphasized the urgent need for a comprehensive approach to ensure the safe return of the hostages, while also calling for international solidarity against Hamas tactics. Following the speech, the Israeli government reportedly paused ongoing hostage negotiations to incorporate Netanyahu's new demands into the proposed deal. This has led to a temporary suspension of talks, as both sides reassess their positions in light of the Prime Minister's renewed stance. Observers note that Netanyahu's call for increased U.S. involvement could add pressure on Hamas and expedite the resolution of the crisis. However, the pause in negotiations has also sparked concerns over potential delays in securing the hostages' release. As the international community continues to monitor developments, Netanyahu's speech is seen by many as a significant diplomatic maneuver aimed at galvanizing global support and reshaping the terms of engagement with Hamas. Whether this will lead to a breakthrough remains to be seen, but the stakes remain high for all parties involved. This is the news for today, Friday, July 19, 2024. Drone strikes and rising tensions. Houthi rebels target Tel Aviv in unprecedented attack. A drone strike executed by Yemen's Houthi rebels resulted in the tragic death of 1 person and left at least 10 others injured in Tel Aviv. The incident marks a significant escalation in the ongoing conflict, with the Houthis claiming responsibility for the attack. Israeli Defense Forces identified the drone as an upgraded model designed to reach longer ranges, indicating a heightened level of threat. This attack is the first time the Houthis have successfully struck a major Israeli city. The drone struck an apartment building near the Mediterranean seafront, causing damage and spreading debris in the vicinity. The incident occurred in the early hours of Friday, triggering a loud explosion that startled residents of Tel Aviv. Despite previous missile and drone launches towards southern Israel by the Houthis during the conflict in Gaza, this attack on Tel Aviv caught Israeli defenses off guard. The Iron Dome air defense system, which has shielded Tel Aviv from previous threats, did not intercept the drone this time. The lack of an alert during the attack was attributed to a human error in activating the detection system, as revealed by an Israeli military official speaking on condition of anonymity. The drone, described as large and capable of long-range flight, approached Tel Aviv, possibly from the Mediterranean Sea. The Houthis claimed that the drone used in the attack was a new type designed to evade interception systems and radar detection. They warned of potential future attacks while stating the success of their operation. In addition to this, a second explosion occurred in Tel Aviv within a span of 24 hours, injuring 2 more individuals. This sequence of violent events has intensified concerns over regional stability and the ongoing security situation in Israel. The attacks have further complicated the geopolitical landscape, drawing international scrutiny and condemnation. The global court has stated that Israel's occupation of certain territories violates international law, adding another layer of complexity to the Middle Eastern crisis. The combination of drone strikes and judicial declarations highlights the multifaceted nature of the current volatility in the region. The global community continues to watch closely as these developments unfold, awaiting diplomatic or strategic responses from the involved parties.